My name is Owen Flynn. I'm the founder and CEO of 254 Brewing Co. When we talk about craft beer, we talk about making fresh beer, which means it's more natural. We don't add any chemical stabilizers. We don't pasteurize the beer. We don't filter the beer, so it's more fresh and better for human consumption. We don't use any sorghum in our beer. We use malted barley, which currently comes from Germany. We hope that we can move the malting operation to Kenya in the next 2 years. We need to raise more funding to do that. But if the business keeps growing, keeps being successful, we should be able to raise that money to bring the malting into Kenya, create more jobs in Kenya, and so on. But at the moment, our malt is all coming from Europe. Beer generally is consumed a little bit more by men than women. Our clientele are a little more mature, in the 30s and 40s. The beer is a little more expensive, so it's maybe less appealing to college students that are looking for the cheapest high. But we make so many beers. Since we've started, we've made over 170 different beers. So we don't only make lagers, so we have many different flavors, and we really have something for everyone. Between something like a Belgian triple Muratatu and a lager and an IPA, there's a huge flavor profile difference. So we have a lot of beers which are more appealing to women than maybe the typical beers. And every week we have a new beer, and the local clientele always give us their feedback on every new beer that we put out there. So we see what people love. If people love it, we make more of it. That's where, for example, Muratatu came from that. We have an amazing team of brewers. We have deep experience. We brew everything in small batches. We use very premium ingredients. And then when we're packaging, we never filter, sterilize, or homogenize the beers. So they remain in a natural state. That's why our beers need to be refrigerated at all times, because they're fresh, living products. They're probiotic. And so they are quite unique in the market in that sense. Yeah. So the tax on beer here is 5 times higher than Uganda, Tanzania, 40 times higher than America or Germany. It's 3 times higher on beer than it is on spirits. So it's really the most highly taxed substance in the country. I know the current government is quite concerned about alcoholism, and so really the tax code, according to us, should be pushing people away from hard liquor, spirits, which can be more dangerous and a cheaper way to get high and a cheaper way to become addicted, and encouraging more small scale, more natural, more higher quality beers that won't have as severe of health detriments. Now, a detrimental effect on health, sorry. And we would include traditional beers in that, like Muratina, Busa, Nazi, those things which are natural and were consumed for thousands of years without creating the degrees of alcoholism and public health crises that we do have today, which are coming from more harsher chemical spirits. If the tax was not 40 times higher than America, the beer would be a lot cheaper and it would be much more accessible to a wider demographic, and of course our sales would be higher. So our ability to create jobs in the sector is of course limited by the huge taxes that we do face. Stupidity really is the short answer, but my background is in manufacturing. I studied engineering in college many years ago. In order for a country to develop a healthy middle class, we need manufacturing. We need to create jobs locally through adding value to products here in Kenya. So we started making beer, kombucha, non-toxic cleaning products, as they were all products that we thought were very beneficial to human health, better than the more chemical versions of those products that we saw on the market. And we said, we can make a viable business from these products without getting grants and so on, but just by building a good old-fashioned business. With some speed bumps in the road, whether COVID, whether taxes, whatever, but that's our kind of mission, is to keep on developing the manufacturing sector in Kenya. And I hope one day we can be manufacturing mobile phones and cars and other high-value goods. Our most popular beer is Sandtrap. It's an IPA, 7%. Then after that is Niaje, lager, 4.5%. Then rising quickly is the Muratatu, the Belgian triple. And then Golden Rump is our fourth and also quite popular beer, a light session IPA. We call it a session IPA because it's lighter, 4.5% compared to our regular IPA, which is a Sandtrap. The Nitro Stout. Well, I come from Ireland. We drink Guinness in Ireland, but the Guinness that we have in Ireland is nitro, whereas the Guinness that we get here is carbonated. So for me, the Nitro Stout is a little bit of a taste of home. It's very smooth, silky smooth beer with a thick, creamy head, and it's very, you can't really bottle it. So the only way you can get it is to come to the brewery or the beer district and try it out on tap. Well, it depends. If you are a beer drinker and you want to try craft beer and you love lager, then I'd probably recommend you start with Niaje, which is a lager. So it's just a craft lager. It's going to be the easiest stepping stone into craft beer. If you don't like lagers and you're not a beer drinker but you want to try craft beer, well then I recommend you try something different, like maybe the Belgian triple, the Muratatu. Maybe try, come down here, try something like the Nitro Stout. Because of those 170 beers, there's a huge range of flavors that we can produce. So we can have beers that are more similar to wine or cider than they are to lager, you know. So for everyone it's different. If you're very curious and adventurous, then you can come down here to the beer district. You can get a flight of 10 samplers. You can try all 10 different kinds and see what you like. You need to be patient and have a lot of perseverance, because there is a lot of red tape around the licensing process, and you need to do most of your investment upfront, with no guarantee that you get that license. So you need a little bit of thick skin, hard work, perseverance. Then when you get through all of that, then you'll still have the taxes waiting for you on the other side.